Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faith Blacklights, we take a look at this. And what this is from Mythical Meats, it is the Griffin's Claw. Calling it a hot sauce once again, I don't think I quite agree, but if that's where you want to put it, that's where we will consider it. So, we've got Hitch Ride on Griffin's Back, Scorpion Pepper, and honey mustard. And as usual, we have this really cool artwork here. It's good. I like the artwork. It's fun. I mean, you know, mythical creatures. I have a fondness. I have a taste for the fantastical as much as anybody. All right, so we are looking at apple cider vinegar, scorpion pepper, honey, distilled white vinegar, water, canola oil, brown sugar, mustard powder, Carolina Reaper powder, white sugar, cayenne pepper powder, black pepper, turmeric, mustard seed, granulated garlic, salt, and garlic. I guess as long as we don't get too much into the mustard flour, which I don't think I saw there. Yeah, it didn't look like it's there. So I don't consider this a hot sauce. This to me is does like to clot in the neck a little. This to me is much more of a mustard, and that's how I'll be using it. And I don't think it's. So sometimes the honey mustard can be sweet enough to sort of veer off and be okay. You'll get a little bit of flexibility out of it. But I don't know that I would say that is really quite the case for this one. You know, honey mustard, of course, being something that works well with chicken. You can also use it, you know, like on pork. For me, though, this sauce I don't think quite fits into that category for me per se, but anyway, yeah, you can see it's got lots of flecks of black pepper in there and looking very honestly very mustardy. And let's just get into it. It is a tad grainy. I don't love that part of it. For the sugars that are in there, it's got a little bit of punch to it. It's kind of hitting me right in the back of the throat right now. But for the peppers that it's got in it, or I mean for the sugars rather it's got in it, I always expect this to be sweeter than it actually is. This does tend a lot towards the bitter. All the powders that are in there are bitter. Scorpion itself tends to be a fairly floral bitter pepper. Mustard powder, mustard seed, black pepper, all those are going to contribute to bitterness. I think some of the grit might be the granulated garlic. Reaper powder, cayenne powder, again, just all of that is just really going to sort of contribute to the bitterness. All right, so I got a couple of these. These are Johnsonville brats, fresh off the grill. Corporations just can't stop fucking you over, that's why. So I don't really have a lot of interest in those. Definitely that is their attempt at doing a shrinkflation bit, from what I can tell. And that's fine. I don't buy their stuff a lot of the time. I can definitely continue to do that. I might get those just to try them out and see how they are. But they honestly don't look good, like in the packaging. But these are the beer brats. Beer brats are always a good time. As long as they're like this. The idea they might be drifting, that does kind of sadden me a little bit. As far as mustards go, I'm inclined to give this a 2. It is, it is one of the more punchier ones, I guess. I have had hotter, to be sure, but this one does kick out a good bit of punch, while still retaining that sort of mustard flavor. I just don't like the sort of graininess of the mouthfeel. I'm not a fan of that. And I do pretty strongly feel that there should be a lot more sweetness in the sauce. It's kind of in this weird sort of middle ground, where it's very clearly, I think, trying to compensate for all that stuff. I think it wants to be more like a sweet mustard. It's just not getting there all the way. So it's, I guess, more or less a slightly sweet mustard. It's got a good build to it, though. Flavor is not bad. It's a little bit wishy-washy, though. It's like, I kind of wish they would pick their lane and just travel in it, you know? I forgot to get buns, so that's why I'm just having the brats naked with the mustard. I really find it kind of sad. We have a good, well, maybe not good, but we have a reliable sausage making company. That you catch them on sale and you get a pretty good deal. I mean, their stadium brats are pretty solid. The beer brats, I think, are pretty solid. Their regular brats are just okay. But you can always just boil them in beer and then finish them on the grill if you need to. Some of their variations do better than others. I did a video on their firecracker brats. The queso brats are okay-ish. I mean, they were just a good, solid choice. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be shown the error of my ways. And I am going to keep an eye on that. And I might try those other kind out just to see. Just to satisfy my own curiosity. But anyway, as far as this goes, as a hot sauce, it's not really a hot sauce. This is definitely more of a mustard than anything else. Like a lot more. And I don't understand why they chose the path they did to try to call it as a hot sauce, other than, you know, probably marketing. They thought it was more advantageous. I did another one from them. I think it was called something unicorn. I don't remember. Unicorn Magic, maybe. And despite that one having horseradish, I actually think that is a better product. I like that one better than this one. This one is honestly just kind of okay-ish. I am filming this right now in about mid-May, and I still have yet to make potato salad for this year. I am kind of hoping that the price of eggs will be more reasonable at some point where I can actually consider doing that. But until that fine day, I will be just waiting, I guess. Hopefully I get to that, but you know, grilling brats and stuff, I usually have brats a few times through the summer, so it's good to have the mustard on hand. And I haven't tried either of those in a sandwich yet. I think of the two, this one, unless I miss my guess, will probably work a little bit better for stuff like ham and cheese or something like along those lines. I think this will probably work better because it's closer to yellow mustard, and I think the horseradish one is going to kind of move a little bit further away from what I would want. You want a fairly strong tasting mustard, I think, in those kinds of sandwiches, or at least I do. So it will have its uses, to be sure, but I can't even say I'm really disappointed in it, because this does deliver a pretty solid punch. I mean, to me, it's kind of in the middle of the pack as far as mustards, but it does deliver a pretty solid heat punch without really sacrificing a lot of flavor. And especially when you're dealing with mustards, that can be pretty tricky to pull off. So, you know, credit where it's due. I think they're doing fine as far as that goes, but I don't know that I would ever buy this again. It isn't. I really wish it would have just gone for being either a straight mustard or a sweet mustard, instead of kind of one foot in both worlds, and it's, you know, kind of jack of both trades and master of neither kind of a deal. But and again, I really don't like the mouthfeel, and that would definitely probably prevent me from getting this again. But I will definitely go through the bottle while it's here, and it is pretty enjoyable overall. So for me, I got this when it was on sale, and I think that is the better course of action. So if you are looking to maybe get some of these, definitely kind of keep your eye on the sale, and that's the better time to get it for sure. Other than that, I think it's normally like $15.99 or something like that on Amazon. I'm not going to tell you not to do that, but I will say that I wouldn't and won't. We'll just leave it right there. So that was the Mythical Meats Griffin's Claw Hot Sauce. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.